I recently watched a video from Review Tech USA that referred to an article from CinemaBlend titled, "Is 2015 the Year to Quit Gaming?" The article questioned society's perception of video games as a hobby for children and whether or not the writer should give up on video games in 2015. Both the video and article were interesting and made me think of my time with video games. So, with the perception still around that video games are a hobby that adults grow out of, are video games a waste of time? I mean, when I was a kid, yes, video games were considered to be more of a toy for kids that I would eventually grow out of. I definitely got picked on by kids who I would later play video games with since they were closet gamers and didn't want to be picked on themselves. In high school, video games became even more popular with the release of the PlayStation 2, Xbox, and GameCube, and with a bit of advertising and hype from fans, the console wars came into sharper focus, and video games became more mainstream. By college, I was enamored by video games like Halo 2, Army of Two, and God of War, and it wasn't looked down upon by my peers because all my peers played video games too. But like digital downloads and the internet, video games have grown to become more accepted as a medium of entertainment. Heck, they beat out movies and television for the top spot in terms of entertainment, but video games are different since they're more interactive and more inclusive. There are all types of video games for all types of people now, whereas they weren't as plentiful in the years prior. And now that I'm in my late 20s, an old friggin' man, I realize that video games aren't a waste of my time. Or, correction, video games are a waste of time. However, this doesn't rule out the fact that television is just as much of a waste of time, if not more of a waste. You can naysay all you want, but the next time you look down at someone who plays video games, remember that you watched the Kardashians, Honey Boo Boo, and 2.5 Men with commercials. And are you honestly telling me that you'd rather sit there on the couch like a vegetable having moving images thrown at you for hours on end? At least you are actively a part of the experience when you play video games, and at least video games make you use your brain, motor functions, memory, and all to prioritize and complete objectives. And don't even get me started on the amount of time people spend on Netflix, one of the biggest time sinks in modern media. I cannot tell you how many days and weeks of my life I've put into a service that is slowly lobotomizing me for $8 a month. And recently I talked to a guy I worked with who told me that he can't play video games because he feels as though he'd waste too much time on them. This same guy is more than happy to put hours upon hours into watching sports games on television, again, with commercials, and participating in fantasy football. And I'm not even sure how to begin to explain the sport, but I know that it takes a heck of a lot of time and patience and spending the night over your friend's house so you can trade players and look at stats. That's not hypocritical. That's contradiction of the century critical. So, in conclusion, if you have folks that look down on you because of a hobby that you may enjoy, remember that their hobbies take up just as much time, if not more than yours. Keep in mind that you're a human being with free will and different interests than the person sitting next to you. Don't be bullied out of your hobby. Make decisions based on what you like and what you care about. I'm the Black Dragon. Happy New Year.
Thank you.